Hello, everyone. It's your boy Hunt back with another episode of Tabletop Recap. I am your host with the most Chung. Big, that's not my name. And Big Boy Chungus is also here. Say hey, Big Boy Chungus.
Hello.
No jokes?
Chunga.
I don't care.
Upset that you used my bit.
Yeah, upset that you used my bit. But yeah, and we also have the lost hosts. The ones that disappeared to the center of the earth and we thought they were done, but they're here and they're fun. First up, Kami.
How's it going, guys?
And Karen.
Who is God?
Yeah, I said lost hosts as if they weren't like in 1-2 episodes ago. But they were lost for D&D. And
we're back.
Since that's apparently most of the podcast, even though I never planned for it to be that way. But
you knew how this was going to go when D&D was introduced.
It's an addiction.
I should have known, but alas, I am not smart or talented. Or good at games, as we saw.
We're good at rolling above a 10.
Yeah,
unless I make fun of him for it.
Yeah.
And it immediately gets better.
You were like, oh, he can't roll anything. Nat 20. Or 19 or whatever it was, I don't know. But yeah, we're all here today with the next part, I believe part
4
of Karen's campaign, the one we never actually gave a name to.
Oh, no. It's got a name. It's officially known as the Three Stooges.
I hate you.
I love the Stooges. Dibs on Mo.
Oh, God.
I'll be Larry, why not?
Okay, whatever. I will not be one because I'm better than everybody else. So, Karen, you gotta set us up. But first we're gonna go around the table and give our characters. Karen, you give us your job first.
So I am the GM for this Karen's 1 to 20, the Three Stooges return campaign. Yeah, that's me. I don't play.
Yeah, you wrote the whole thing, made the world, everything.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, not one of those filthy pre-writtens that only bad GMs run. Just kidding. That's a stupid
I'll
thing
remember
that
that.
people think.
You want to play Drizzt again.
Drizzt. Yeah. He's still alive somehow. And then we're going to go around you first.
So I am Tywin Duchamp, the half-elf warlock of the Fiend.
That's it. Okay.
I mean,
He's
how
not
much
really shared anything else with us background-wise.
Warlock, more like warmonger.
I mentioned previously
Yeah,
that my
actually.
character's been to prison before. Have you guys heard that part yet?
Yeah,
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually,
Yes, I
That was
I'm
believe.
sure.
so unsurprised by that, but I don't even know if it bears mentioning.
Yeah, and I am Kabuto Diend. I am a big ol' lizard boy. I am a lizard folk paladin who was an oathbreaker for one god, but took an oath with a new god.
the best God.
Yeah, he's a sleepy boyo. Maybe one day you will learn more. But, yeah, so he doesn't like to use his magic, but he is a paladin. And he is just chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, shooting some people outside of the school. And a couple of guys that are up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. We got in one little fight. My mom got scared and said, yeah.
Yeah, we're about to get copyright claimed here.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And I'm Carrick Attaway, a half-elf farmer turned bard.
Woot. And Karen, what do you do?
Wait,
Nothing.
Absolutely
anyways,
nothing.
so this session opens picking up where we left off. Everyone got to level up to level 3. Ooh, exciting.
Give us a
Archetypes.
very short recap. Like super short, because the Karen's episodes are very spaced out.
Yeah. So, these guys got together in the woods, killed a baroness. Well, actually, Big Boy Chungus killed a baroness. It was great. They ran. Figured out there was going to be war. Then they're like, hey, we got this quest. Actually, Kabuto was like, hey, I got this quest. Let's go do this thing. And it was about this big lizard that eats things. So, yeah, they're like, let's go figure that out. And then they did, and they went into a swamp. And that's when they entered today's session, was entering the swamp with the red water. And it was just this big old swampy area with a bunch of people running around and stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. I don't know what else to say. I'm bad at recaps.
It's fine. We needed a super fast one like that.
That was actually a really good fast recap.
But the other episodes are up, so you can always listen to them and catch up. But, so yeah, we go in on the boat. We get there. You immediately get rid of our half-orc NPC, which I knew you would.
Well, I kind of didn't want him to be in your guys' way. I kind of wanted you guys to do your own thing.
I mean, we hired him to just
take you
there. When we got there, he bounced.
He found his inbred family members and wanted to go have a drink at the bar.
Yeah, it was like his cousin comes out and they look exactly the same, and then his brother comes out and they look exactly the same, and Kabuto was like, "All mammals look the same to me." Kabuto is racist
against anything with warm blood.
He's pretty much racist against mammals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about birds yet.
We'll find out.
We'll figure it out. But, so we tried to get some information. We went up to, this old guy. He had, an eye patch and a big burn on his head. And Kabuto was like, "You, cripple!"
Insult everyone. That's all you did today was insult.
You tell me about the big guy. And who's an ex-adventurer. He wouldn't tell me because I called him cripple. Kabuto didn't see it as an insult. It was a designation.
Also, you rolled chronically low. This is where the chronic low rolls began, because you rolled a 3 on, persuasion or something.
I mean, first roll of the day was a nat 20.
Yes.
That was mine, I think.
I think that was with the pointed hood guy.
Yeah.
Okay, don't jump to conclusions. All right, it was not a clan member. The opposite color, in fact. these black hooded guys.
It was just like a little pointy wizard hat that's like a black pointy wizard hat. They were all wearing capes, and they were in these kind of thrown together outfits.
Kind of panhandling for donations.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've tried rolling a religion check to see if I could glean anything what type of religion are these guys? Do they have any practices? And nat 20, and I just oh yeah, they're frauds.
Yeah, pretty instantly found out.
Kindred spirits, almost.
Yeah, and they were like, "All right, what's your donation and what's your sacrifice?" And Kabuto was like, "Why does a god need money?" Real Star Trek stuff,
Which I thought
they didn't want to answer.
They dodged that question pretty thoroughly.
But I think Tywin gave them 1 gold. Who gave them 1
No,
gold?
I didn't give them anything because while you were talking to them, I prestidigitationed a single gold coin in my hand, which I successfully sleight of handed.
And you
which
just
means
dropped it in their box.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, here you go. Bye.
And the moment that dude walked away, that coin went poof.
Yeah.
And I was 5 silver. And they were like, "What's your sacrifice?" And they thought it was your dog, because Carrick has a dog.
Wolfhound.
Yeah. He is pupper. He is good boy.
I think I literally said, "If you touch my dog, I'll eviscerate you." Which is the most overtly violent Carrick has ever gotten, actually.
And Kabuto was like, "Sacrifice, of course." And he lays on his belly on the dock, and you're all laughing at me like, "What is he doing?" And I stick my hand down in the water and grab a fish, and I just get a little minnow because I rolled a 9 altogether. And I was like, "This is the sacrifice!"
And honestly, these people didn't care. They just wanted the money, so they're like, "Oh, okay, whatever you want to do, we don't care.
Yeah,
you do your thing."
As we went about and stuff, I kept going back to the water and dipping him in to keep him alive.
The best part was that you sat there with a clenched fist the entire time in reality,
continuing
to roleplay.
I was like, he doesn't keep it by his side, he keeps it up by his chest so he can keep an eye on the fishy. And then I went to roll something and I opened my hand and it was so much sweat.
Oh my god.
Pretty sure that had that fish been released, its tail would have been crushed.
He did crush it actually at one point, but that's later
If
on.
fish could scream, they would, at my mere presence, for I am their god.
And, yeah.
This is when you summoned your familiar.
Oh yeah, so
'Cause level it up.
at level 3, I went with the Pact of the Chain feature with my fiendish boon, and I summoned an imp named Jessup.
Yeah, I was about to say, an ant. Excuse?
Yeah,
That would have been so cool.
Oh
but
my
yeah.
god.
So
Call him Mossbeard.
Yes.
So the whole reason why I chose that particular boon and ability was because I want to use it as a form of reconnaissance, gathering information so I can, catch marks and trick people better, given that I'm a charlatan.
Which you did really good with that today, getting a lot of information.
And the second that I got the nat 20 on the religion check and I summoned Jessup, I'm like, okay, vanish. And he goes invisible because imps have surprisingly a great number of abilities for a level 1 creature. Mm-hmm. And I say telepathically, because I have the trick that allows me to communicate with my familiar telepathically, and I can see through their senses and speak through them. I say, tail those guys, tell me what you find. And a lot more information that I gathered that way, but that was a little bit later.
Yeah. So, you guys talked to...
I gathered a group of drunk people were sitting over there, curious, I think it was Kabuto was going around asking for info about.
Yeah, I walk up to them and I'm like, "You mammals, tell us of your experience with the Red King," which is the big reptile. I don't want to call it a lizard anymore.
Because it's not.
Because I'm anal about reptiles.
Accurate. Have been since you were 5.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyways.
So you ask for info and they say, "We have no clue. We just wanted to see the show, but now they won't let us in."
Because they were like, "Oh, we're here to just see what this thing looks like. We don't know what it is. We
Kinda
just
like
heard
us.
stories." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they came up to them too, and they're like, "Hey, what do you want to pay? And what's your sacrifice?" And they're like, "Nothing. We don't have anything." And they're like, "Okay, then you can't see it." And they walked on. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Chungus kind of figured it out really fast. This is all just for money, and he's like, these are charlatans too.
And I was just trying to figure like, charlatans make money. Where's the money? I shall steal their money.
Remember, kids, if a religion asks for money, it's not real.
What is... Continuing,
Anyway,
we're talking to the
So
drunk
Kabuto's approached these people, and once I realized that they were kind of like us, Carrick was like, "Well, they can't stop us all if we just try and sneak through and check out what's going on. If there's a bunch of us, what are they gonna do?" And they bought that.
Yeah, they were like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
They were also very drunk, and I bought them more drinks to keep them drunk.
Yeah, you did that.
So the plan was that we were just gonna all mob over there and just like try and sneak or push through some kind of way. My thought was they would be a great distraction while we actually snuck through, while they just caused trouble.
Yeah. So, to kind of explain what's going on, every time they sold one of these, like, spots to go see the Red King, it was basically like, "Okay, here's your number in line." So, like, this group got the number 94, so they had to be, when they called their number, they could come up and do their whole thing, and, I mean, it was just like a little money-making thing going on. So you guys were waiting, and then Carrick was like, "I'm too impatient to wait for 90 because we're on 70, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to wait." So...
It was goofily impatient.
I don't
Yes.
want to wait for them to call our number.
And my character was
beautiful.
like, "I'm all for sneaking into some place. How do you want to do it?"
Yeah.
So we tried to sleight of hand swap our tickets with someone, and then that didn't work, and we were like, "Well, let's just have our new friends fight them and prestidigitation the number," which took us way too long to think
We
of
weren't
the
trying to get them to
prestidigitation.
fight. We were just trying to get them to like, "Yeah, we want to see the thing," and
But
just
then-
cause trouble.
Big Boy
There's
Chungus...
no way it wasn't going to end up as a fight, though, right? Not if it was
No.
successful.
Karen is GM. That is not entirely
Well, not-
untrue.
Hey, I'm not that bad.
I'm kidding.
Anyways, so you guys are setting up, okay, when they call number 75, let's rush on over and try to...
See, I just thought that
get
they
it?
would like this group of people would walk over and the guards would all just be distracted with like, "Go away, you drunk people." And then while they were distracted, we could just do whatever we wanted.
Yeah, but then Big Boy Chungus, or Tywin, screamed thief and
That is
triggered everybody.
So my original plan for doing that was because I had prestidigitation a ticket to look like 75, and they had a 75 ticket as well. And by calling them thieves, I was going to try and, using my charisma skills, to tell the guards that, they took the real one from us and gave us this fake one. This is ridiculous. We never really got around to that. And I was going to try and use it effectively because the information that Jessup the Imp gained while tailing the fake religious people was that they were tired of people not paying their tithes, they were tired of getting shortchanged, and that all this crap they had to deal with. And so I was going to say, it is such a shame that you fine religious folk have to deal with such impudent thieves and scoundrels, just to try and butter them up. But what actually wound up happening was chaos.
Yeah. I think that was like a 20 or something
It
you rolled on
was
that?
a dirty 21 or 22.
Yeah.
you were very
All 21s
convincing.
and 22s are dirty.
Okay. But anyway, So yeah, you guys did that, and then
Through a series of completely unnecessary bluffs and lies and persuasion checks, we get in ahead of schedule to see this big alligator.
I like the prestidigitation of your guys' ticket into the 75. Like, let's just prestidigitation, we'll sneak in. And they do, because you guys rolled an advantage persuasion check.
Because we were helping each other to convince the guards.
That, yeah, it's like, we just want to go next. You called our number, and he's like, okay, whatever, I'm trying to keep these drunks from...
So it worked a little bit.
It did work.
Completely unnecessary.
Yeah, so then what happened next, Kabuto?
Although, actually, it turned out to work out pretty well.
Yeah.
For them to be a mob out there. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that group of elves, like, sacrifice to a cow to it to help it win the war. But what we saw when we entered, really... like all the trees connected at the top to form this dome, which I thought was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the biggest, fattest alligator you'd ever seen in your life. And in case you don't know, the lore of this swamp is that catfish got so big they ate all the alligators.
Yep.
So this is like quite the sight, because there shouldn't be any alligators.
This is like the last unicorn if unicorns were fat and scaly.
Yeah, but like this thing's so fat that I'm like, you basically can't see its feet, and it's just like leaning back. It cannot move. It's so big, it's just slapping its belly waiting for its next meal.
Y'all ever play Storm King's Thunder? This is like a dumber Chief Ga.
I will send you guys pictures, by the way, Kami and Karen, of what Chief Ga looks like if you don't know.
I think they've
do
seen
not.
the mini. Is that mini? The mini that's like a huge fat lady sitting on a...
It's a morbidly obese hill giant.
Oh, gosh.
God.
She's eating a dragon's leg.
That
It's
is terrifying.
insane.
Oh my god.
But she's CR5 because she can't move. So.
Yeah, no, she's immobilized, and she uses other hill giants and goblins to do her bidding, which is just bring more food.
So basically exactly like this giant
Yeah,
alligator.
exactly.
Yeah.
But this alligator's just like sitting there waiting for stuff, and then the profiteers, whatever you want to call them, the religious folk are like, oh, okay, eat the cow, and then it eats the cow, and then the elves are like, we're gonna win the war, and then they leave. And that's the whole process is this.
And this is where Kabuto messes.
Yeah,
This is
because
where Kabuto offends everybody.
we snuck in with a different ticket, and the ticket said baby. They were going to sacrifice their baby. And then you, like, made fake crying noises come from a bunch of blankets, and Kabuto was like, yeah, I'm not going to play that game.
And
I thought it was a pretty clever
No one
ruse.
backs each other up.
And Tywin had the last line of defense because I sent Jessup, who's still invisible by the way, and spoken through telepathically, to actually find the baby that was meant for the sacrifice and snatch it if things went south.
And
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure
you
that
wanted
baby's
chaos.
dead.
You wanted chaos.
I did not want chaos, but what wound up happening was I caused chaos to try and cover our escape.
Yeah.
Which,
Later.
anyways,
Yeah.
I was standing by the baby in a sense in case they actually needed a real sacrifice.
Yeah, so I walk up to this big crocodilian, not a lizard. I walk up to this big crocodilian, and I am like, Red King, give me your knowledge. What are you? And one of the charlatans was like, it doesn't speak. And I was like, your god can't speak? What a pathetic god.
Offending everybody.
But they were like, we've got a non-believer. And he was like, shut up. And he goes up to the Red King, and he's like, here, this is your sacrifice. And I just chuck a minnow at him, and it, like, hits his chest, and he goes, Ree!
I mean, yeah. Continue, Kabuto. You're doing great.
The gator was not threatening to me at all, because I just imagined this fat thing wiggling around. Oh
It
my
was
God,
within
it was
chomping
so
distance of
fun.
you, though, which is why everyone was backing up.
It did
Yeah.
one-shot a cow.
I did a good deck save to avoid being swallowed whole.
And the thing is that before that happened, my character's evil, but I'm trying to be more of a team player, and I readied the command spell to try and, like, get it to stop in case, it actually did want to eat Kabuto. But this is just a giant fat alligator. I have no idea what kind of creature this is other beyond that. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's, like, somewhat intelligent, like it's controlling these people or what. No, it's just a dumb alligator, so command just falls flat. I wasted a spell slot. Thank you, GM.
I knew that wouldn't work when it could speak.
Read your spell descriptions deeper next time.
Ooh, got him.
I did, but I didn't know if this thing actually was intelligent.
So it was a gamble. And
was
your
a
gamble
gamble.
just
You
didn't
didn't
pay
know.
off.
Yeah.
It happens.
Initiative did end up starting because the gator attacked me, so the guards attacked us, and I used my new Oath of Vengeance stuff to make the gator scared of me, which was awesome.
I mean,
Abjure
yeah.
I
enemy.
terrified
Yeah.
a god today.
Well,
not
was
a
just
real god,
a
but
puny god.
literally just a fat animal. But,
Did you use the giant alligator stat block for this thing, or was this
Nah.
completely homebrewed?
I made this, but you guys didn't even like have to. I homebrewed this whole thing, and I was like, okay, this will be a good fight. Blah blah blah. Because I'll kind of explain what's going on. As soon as they were like, oh, non-believers, basically they were afraid you guys were gonna go out and be like, don't bother, don't worry, because they just want to make money off of this, like, oh, it's a god, we can make money off of this. So as soon as you guys were like, this is fake, this isn't real, they're like, okay, shut it down, guys, shut it down, don't let them out, because they'll tell everyone else. And so I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna fight it because they're gonna be trapped in here with it, and then you scared it, and I can't use my cool thing now that I homebrewed all by myself.
that's the way the news goes.
So I think the way things went, you scared the alligator, and then what did you do, Tommy?
So I
Same
used
thing he
hideous.
always does.
Yeah, messed with people. Incapacitation is my modus operandi. So I used hideous laughter on one of the guards that was coming to mess with Kabuto. Is the way the layout was that Kabuto actually had two guards that were converging on him that were behind him, and the giant crocodilian was in front of him. So he really didn't have an escape path necessarily, as well as we did. We were at least grouped up further back. There was one guard on me, one guard on her and my dog, two guards at the entrance who were doing some chanty stuff that Chungus handled like a boss.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
But
I did some
there were
stuff.
two on me.
I did some
Yes.
stuff before dealing with the guards.
Yes. But as the guards started to converge, I hit one of them that was going after Kabuto with hideous laughter because I didn't think he wanted to get triple teamed.
And the other one just couldn't hit me.
Yeah, the other one missed you. Then I got attacked by once, but I used a reaction to keep from getting hit. Hearn took a tag, which was the point where Carrick, the chaotic good guy, was like, I wasn't going to kill anybody, but you hurt my dog, so time to go John Wick.
Yeah.
And then,
So-
Chungus did a lot.
So on the first turn, Jessup is still outside by the baby, and
There's a big crowd.
And at
it's
this point,
still-
you guys don't know I have Jessup. He's either been invisible or out of the same room as you guys. So the first turn, all I do is telepathically tell him, create chaos. We may need to escape and need cover. And my character doesn't even care. I just wanted chaos. Even though he's lawful good, I'm going to have someone else do the chaotic dirty work. And the imp being lawful good is going to follow my orders.
Lawful evil.
Lawful evil, my bad.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking,
So
That was an
you
alignment
gotta
shift.
learn what good is, man.
sorry, I'm
Fate now this.
all kinds of stuff happens. So
Okay, to be fair, Fate was definitely lawful good.
So so all of a sudden we hear the sounds of chaos outside as soon as I telepathically send that message, and then the next turn, I bring Jessup in, who proceeds to tell me what he has done to cause said chaos.
He killed the baby, right? Please tell. I know it in my
What did
heart.
he
I
do?
mean, it's up to you if you want to say what the
Yeah, he
note
killed that baby.
I knew it. I told it as soon as it happened. I
Yeah,
was like,
he's-
that baby is dead. That imp stinger went right into his little baby heart, and he let out a
Yeah.
little baby shart.
It wasn't the poison that killed him; it was the stinger that went directly through its eye into its toddler brain.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh! I just said the most basic thing, and you guys are making it so violent.
But so, anyways,
So he's a baby killer, and let's hope Carrick never finds out about this.
yeah, you won't.
Wow! I just realized Chungus's character always kills children.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
That's
once
scary.
was technically not
Canon.
in continuity, but also there could have been children in that church, and any tiefling children were, of course, put in camps after your actions. So.
And so yeah,
That takes place in our
Jessup-
Theocracy campaign, which has been edited into a full episode. You can check that out.
So Jessup confirms to me what he has done, and I'm like, whatever, you did your job, good whatever. And that's now we've got issues in here. Attack that guy, and he attacks one of the guards by the door and deals both piercing and poisoning damage since the guard failed his throw. And I think between the poison and stinging, he took like 20 damage in a single hit, which he just keeled over right then and there.
Yeah.
One hitter quitter.
And then my guy hits the other guard with an Eldritch Blast, which doesn't kill him, but definitely does some damage.
Yeah, and so what they were doing was they were slowly creating this, like, I guess force field. I don't know, really.
Where'd you get that idea from?
Oh, stop it. Just because you did it in your Theocracy campaign with the... Anyway, so
I'm kidding.
basically they're building it up from the ground up. So that's how Jessup could fly over that and get into the dome, basically. So as soon as those two were knocked out, that dome was going right back down because... they needed all four. That's why the four people were positioned where they were.
Like in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Exactly.
The Magna Defender arc, specifically.
Oh, okay.
We all know what I'm talking about, of
Oh,
course.
I was thinking of
absolutely.
You're
exactly
certainly
that.
just not
For the
agreeing
sake of
with me.
argument, I'll say yes.
Oh my gosh. So as soon as that went down, the two guards or whatever, the two cultists, I don't know what to call them. The fake religious.
shams.
The
Gator trucks.
shams. I like this.
Shamahon.
Oh my gosh. So the two sham artists in the back were like, oh no, we're gonna leave. Because they're like, these guys are decimating our people, so. That's kind of what happened when you took them out, and then I think that's when Kabuto did some things.
Yeah, so I scared this thing. It's thrashing about, because even if it could move, that ability thing takes away its movement speed anyways, and it did fail its throw, so it's scared of me. It's still reeing, just thrashing around. I imagine it's a big old tan belly just jiggling all about,
Yeah.
full of cows and
Getting
babies.
King K. Rool vibes here.
Yeah, and I turn around and I'm like, look at this pathetic god. I have terrified it. You suck. You suck. It was actually like a big monologue, and I was very proud of it at the time. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I basically was like, your god's weak and you should kill it, pretty much. Like a Klingon, like a sort of type thing where they kill their gods when they're
I'm
useless to them.
Oh
I
my
have driven your god to its knees, fear me, and worship kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Your
Yeah.
god is nothing. This is nothing. And I rolled a nat 1.
On
of course.
intimidation.
Yeah, of course. I not the only nat 1 I'd roll that day, but nat 1 on intimidation. So everyone that's freaking out outside when all the chaos comes flooding in because they hear me shout about how the god is false and it should be done away with. Because Kabuto has a bad history with some gods. So
backstory.
he's
I thought that was a nat 20.
No, but
that-
it did really help us, which
In the end, yeah.
like it was something that seemed like it would really hurt us, but then we kind of worked it. We
Yeah,
worked with what we had to
you
make
guys
it turn out
tweaked
in
it
our
to-
favor.
Yeah. And that's when everyone started rushing in because they wanted to know what was going on and why they had to go take out the god.
There like weren't enough humanoid minis, so there was this huge just arch of D6s.
Placeholders.
Because you guys have like a huge bag of just random D6s from like dice lots you've bought and stuff.
I like dice. They're fun.
Goblin. Anyways, there's they're pouring in and they're getting closer and closer each turn, and we all kind of just bounce. I did stab one guy just once with my bonus action tail blade homebrew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I knocked one of the guys down with another round of hideous laughter.
So I didn't have to disengage.
Yes, had Hearn follow the two fleeing guards that were running out the back of the enclosure, the opposite side from where we came in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, guys, I'm bouncing. Let's go.
Yeah, and people start swarming that
Yeah.
gator, just swarming it.
And I was bringing up the rear, but before we left, I wasn't sure if the guy that I ran past was actually down, so I ordered Jessup telepathically to sting him and then cover our escape.
Yeah. The thing about Carrick was like he took out everyone that would have gotten an opportunity to attack around you guys with like
Hideous It was literally just hideous laughter.
that. And you did that to everyone that would have gotten in your way and I'm like, okay, well they don't get attacked when they run by, so
And when he
there
took it
you
off
go.
someone, they were prone, so...
Yeah, exactly. So
And one more thing, I have not told the group about Jessup. They only
Yeah.
when they first saw him, all they heard was chaos outside, this little, he's purple, by the way, he's a purple imp, flies in and just stabs and downs a guard right then and there.
Yeah. Whenever I think of a D&D imp, I always imagine the homunculus from the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Ray Harryhausen film. You guys seen that?
Mm-mm.
With the troglodyte and the golden minotaur's eye, the tiger.
I want
of
to watch
course.
that movie. I want to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Tom Baker, Doctor Who was the villain in that. It was the little stop motion homunculus creature that looks a lot like the imps. It's very cool. I always imagine those as the D&D imps.
So what was Kabuto's initial reaction to seeing Jessup?
Oh yeah, the imp flies in and he goes, "Gargoyle, quick!" And then the imp followed us when we were leaving, and he was like, "The gargoyle is coming!"
And then he vanishes. I telepathically tell him to turn invisible and follow the dog.
Yeah, because you're trying to hide him from us. And
Although Carrick wasn't looking that way at all, so I'm totally fine with not having noticed
we are like
this.
so close to kicking you out of the pack, man. You gotta behave.
Me?
Yes.
You actually, he
You
did a
betrayed
bunch
us and then actively hid your imp from us. You actively hid stuff from us in the boats
We were-
later.
but we don't know about a lot of this stuff.
We were running for our lives, and I didn't exactly have the time to tell you, hey, he's with me.
And by the end of the session, we knew all three of those
yeah,
things.
we did.
You don't know about the baby.
I don't know about the baby.
we don't know about
You
the
will
worst
never know about the...
That's why I didn't mention the baby. There's no possible way for us to know about the baby unless you tell us.
You will never
Or
find
the
out
imp
about that
brags
baby.
about
Like
it.
how you guys haven't figured out I let that woman die.
Yeah, that,
You guys are. I don't like this group.
Are we
anymore.
bad people?
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
There's
No,
only
no,
one of us who's possibly good.
Carrick's the only good one because he hasn't murked someone.
well, I have, but only because they hurt my dog.
Okay, that's acceptable. That is totally acceptable.
Even the fox lady thought that was acceptable.
I mean, I'm actually pretty sure that Chaotic Good has no problem with that kind of, like, protect
Yeah.
your own kind of thing.
I
Yeah.
would.
I never start the fights, but I'll finish.
John Wick is chaotic good.
He is not Chaotic Good.
I
He
don't
murdered,
care.
like, 150 people for a puppy.
That's okay with me. In my universe, he
Also-
would be chaotic good.
Also, he's an assassin. We don't know how many people he killed prior to those movies.
Lots. Anyways.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So we bolt out the back. Everybody follows along, and then we kind of split the party a little bit, which is usually a bad idea, but it kind of worked out this
It
time.
was all right.
I almost died.
You did almost die. So did my dog, I think.
No,
Okay.
we didn't take any damage.
To
No,
explain
but you were
this
gonna eat
area,
I considered it for real. I almost did it.
That was the reason why I told Jessup to fly up in the air in the first place. Because while he has no love for you guys or the dog, he does realize that his hired help essentially requires everyone playing nice so far, and he did not want you killing the muscle.
Yeah, so behind like the foliage dome was kind of like this big storage area where the charlatans, I guess, stayed. The place.
I was going to explain it, but okay.
Oh
Yeah.
No, you
Teach
go
me.
ahead.
No,
that
Sorry.
was actually-
I'm just the host, you know. And go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, so behind this dome area, they come out, and it is where, like, the charlatans and the scam artists were living. They've set up, effectively, a camp where it's like they've got a little house where all of them live, but they also have their money, like, storage area, their warehouse, and their outhouses, and these, like, docks. So if things ever got bad, like they did today for them, they could jump in the boats and get on and hide. And the money was close to the boat, so they could throw it in real fast
Like a
and
whole
get on.
shack with cartoon bank money bags.
I like cartoon bank money bags. They had to happen.
I imagined big old dollar signs on them.
Tywin
the whole
especially
time.
Yeah.
appreciates the big money bags.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But so this is where they were kind of setting up camp, and then the other side of the dome was kind of the where everyone's set up, and they were like, oh, we're gonna see this big show thing. In the back, it's like very humble, like abode, kind of like, we're just doing this so we can get by, and this is our camp, order of operations, all that good shit. Okay, go ahead.
So we get behind the big crocodilian still flailing. People are rushing in. We run through the back because we're following two of the shammerers who ran out the back. And then Kabuto went to go acquire a boat.
Which you guys knew they had boats because they're like, we gotta get out of here, get in the boat and let's go. Because they saw the crowd coming in, those two guards in the back. So that's how you guys knew about the boats and the escape.
Yeah, I got the boat on the far left, and I untied it and stuff, and I was just kind of sitting there, so I was like, might as well do a little more hand fishing. Stick my hand in there, nat one, kaiju catfish. I'm all alone, except for the dog,
Who does not swim great.
Yeah.
which we know. That thing goes all up on my arm, Thank God it wasn't a full-sized one, because it would have just taken the whole boat and Doc and me and the other boat.
Yeah. Maybe part of the house. I mean...
And I keep doing an animal handling, because I'm afraid if I hurt it, it'll just drag me under. Because I heard all those catfish stories from the half-orc lady.
Greatest character.
Yeah, real though, right? The greatest character in fiction.
Kelly, you win the award.
Thanks.
You got a Nobel Prize, I think.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have that for... Anyways. They made one, just for you.
So you go get a boat. What do you guys do getting us back on track?
Yeah, we're going to put you in suspense for the catfish.
So Carrick and Tywin notice that on the other side of this little camp, large bags of money are being removed from one building and being loaded onto a boat. Mm-hmm. And my character's flaw is that he cannot resist any kind of wealth that can be gained. So he's obviously like, want to make this trip worthwhile? Or I think actually no, your character initiated this, I think.
Yeah, you saw the money.
I saw them loading the stuff up and was like, hey, you wanna... And we both just got money signs in our eyes.
I looked at him like, absolutely, lead the way.
Everything money-related in this was cartoony.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Not this next scene. This next scene was just carnage.
There was actually a lot of death involved here. So we kind of start running over because, you know, there's a lot of money here. These cultists are clearly not nice guys.
Yeah.
They don't deserve to leave with this money. I think that we should have this money because we've done these people a service by ending this weird cult thing, and we're gonna take some money.
I think the exact quotes you said, we need to acquire this money from those who stole it.
We're just liberating stolen funds here.
To which
That's
you guys
not evil.
systematically destroyed these people. Again, these aren't adventurers. These are just random people who saw opportunity in making a show of the last gator.
These are the Nigerian princes who really need you to loan them some money.
That, yes.
Wait, you're not supposed to reply to those emails? Oh no!
So you guys go in and kind of wreck.
We've one-shotted like 6 guys.
And the whole time
Yeah.
I'm struggling with a fish.
You're
you were being nice to it.
You
I
are.
was.
Carrick is systematically ruining these people's career with mere words, and I literally sicked a devil on them.
Yeah. And then you blew up the money house.
Yes, I rolled a nat 1, and I totally forgot that I had fate points, which could have removed that. But I honestly think it's fine because Tywin was very upset at himself, but he rolled with it. He's like, just get in there and get what you can.
Well, and they had already loaded a boat full of money for us, so we just took the boat full of money.
Yeah, fair enough.
We didn't even have to do the hard work.
And you're still freaking out, Carrick is, at this little gargoyle, this purple imp that is just systematically stinging people in the neck.
And then disappearing into nothing. Like, it pops up, kills a dude with a stinger in somebody's throat, and then poof, gone. And then he's doing it again over there.
And the only thing that you have to tie it to me is that I'm the only person not freaking out about it.
Also, it was killing the things that we were killing, so that was a good hint.
Yeah.
That it was not hostile, which is why I didn't blast it.
So, I'll kind of explain about this
Yeah, you
person
go.
who I can't give the name to because no one asked for it.
I was being eaten by a fish and don't care about mammal names.
Tywin just does not care. He sees her as dead weight and extra expenses.
That means it's the bard's job to ask names.
You know,
we were
honest-
trying to button up the session because it was getting a little late.
You weren't even there, so it's fine.
It's fine. Anyway, so, this half-tabaxi came over and she was like, oh, hey, familiar face, because she remembered the lizard folk who was trying to get them...
She was one of the people that Carrot convinced that, they can't stop us all, let's try.
Yeah,
Area
so-
51 style.
had a couple
Yeah.
of rolls. She ran over and she's like, oh, hey, it's you. Can I get out of here with you? All my friends are dead.
And I'm like,
Which-
I'm being eaten by a catfish.
And you didn't say anything. Your arm was just, like, in the water.
Yeah.
And she's, like, kind of, like, on the shore still. Like, hey, little drunk. It's okay.
Yeah, they were drinking. You bought them drinks.
I did.
Remember.
I made this worse.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just doing handle handling. Hearn's trying to bite the fishy. And then eventually she starts shooting at it with bows and arrows, and she's like, I'm going to help. And I was like, you are drunk. Please stop. I was so afraid she was going to shoot me. Because the catfish got me down to 10 health really fast. That thing was so strong.
It was a baby kaiju. Of course it was.
Yeah, it was a manila, except without the dumb face and body.
So that was kind of what was happening with you. Finally, it took Hearn, and like you just leaning back to
Them
pull
pulling
your
on
arm,
me and me rubbing its whiskers to get it to open up.
because you're like, be nice, be nice. Finally, you got it to loosen up a little bit, and they yanked you out.
I'm like missing the skin and a ring on my arm. 10
So,
health. Ooh, I was getting there, boys and girls.
But
were
once
you worried?
Not really.
Oh,
should have been.
darn! I should have did better.
I'm never worried because if my characters die, as long as it's, good, I'm down.
Okay.
Once Tywin and I had cleaned out the other sham artists, I used a big, loud, booming illusion voice to say, "Hey, Gabatu, get over here. We got a boat. Meet us in the middle."
And he didn't respond right away. So
Because my arm was in a catfish when that happened.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So
of course.
We were trying so hard not to metagame.
We actually had a
pretty
really
good
good
job.
session for that, as far as
Because
not
it
metagaming
was
goes.
taking me suspiciously long to get this boat. So it made sense that you shouted after me.
And then I send Jessup, who is not invisible, over.
And this is after I am free.
Yeah, you did manage to get free. And I sent Jessup over, and I have the ability to also speak through the imp with my own voice. So I was kind of hoping that once you heard my voice coming out of the creature that you wouldn't freak out,
My intelligence is very low.
obviously. And I just said, hey, Kabuto, what's taking so long? Move it.
And it was like, the gargoyle thinks it can trick me. Shoo, gargoyle! And I'm swinging my quarterstaff at it.
You almost killed him.
The first time you rolled well.
Yeah. Oh, I should also
Yeah.
mention that he's rolled terrible up until this point, and
like 10 or less
I
every roll.
literally said I'm not worried about it. He's rolled garbage all day, and then he rolls a 19,
Yeah.
natural.
And I took it down to 1 HP.
Yeah, you almost
You
killed
rolled almost
Jessup.
max damage too.
Yeah.
I mean, I could always just resummon him later, but I really didn't want you to kill him. So he shouts a curse at you in Infernal, and then just ditches. He's like, "This ain't worth it."
Yeah, I just know common and draconic.
Oh gosh. So then,
At this point, we just kind of paddled over, net up, and split the loot.
Yeah, our boats met up. We split the loot. Tywin tried to hide 2 giant cartoon money bags on his person.
yeah.
These were the 2 bags that I managed to salvage from the building I exploded.
I couldn't see them because they were sitting low and we were in 2 different boats because there were so many of us now and also a bunch of loot. We got a little too much for our level, maybe. We got a lot.
Hey, you guys rolled really great on luck, and
I rolled 2 19s in a row again because you let me use your lucky set, which was incredible.
My spangled dice.
I am going to
my,
just steal the crap out of those dice.
my star spangled set that are red, white, and blue.
Yeah, normally my orange D20, which was my first D20 ever from a Star Wars Miniatures Episode 3 starter set, normally that thing rolls incredible, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but today it was like, nothing above a 4.
yeah.
Oh,
And then
you can hear
Spangle-
that jingle. That's my cat running around.
But then you got spangles, and literally every roll was higher than the last.
That is
until you were
not
hitting
the
19s.
first time you have lent me Spangles because I was doing awful. But I mean, we got out, It
You
was
guys
a fun
split
thing.
loot.
Got a
Kind
lot
of greedy with it. I wasn't expecting that, but then
We gave some of it to the backseat woman because 1, we got her friends killed.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
2, she did help me get out of the catfish.
Mhm.
And you actually saw my wound from the catfish, and you were like, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "Nothing." And I just kind of did a quick little lay on hands on myself. No, it wasn't lay on hands.
Cure
It was cure
wounds.
wounds. Yeah. Because that was a spell I prepared for the day. I did a little cure wounds on myself, and it got better. Because you're the only one who knows I have magic. I did it stealthily. No one else realized, except you, because you were staring directly at it. And
Well-
I'm not trying to hide it from you.
And I tell you what, I'm not even totally sure that Carrick knows it's magic because he's not expecting magic out of you.
Yeah, because I did use lay on hands on you once when I
Yes.
nat one and hit you in the back with a crossbow bolt. Or
Yes,
something.
that did happen.
And then
You want the You want the pizza?
I think my cat's gonna steal our pizza.
Want me to grab it?
Once she realizes there's vegetables on it, she will be gone. See? She just left, sniffed it and left. Vegetables? No thanks.
And then Carrick actually did convince me. Well, I say convince. He shamed me into sharing the 2 bags. And
Your
I said,
character also knows he's on thin ice. Like,
Yeah, so-
it's a miracle you aren't just gone.
so yeah,
And you're close. Like
I
if you
said-
do one thing wrong, you're
Like
done.
if you kill a baby.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think Carrot could take you.
we'll see.
Well, Carrick
We
wouldn't
might.
have to, Carrick
I've
wouldn't
got-
have to
I've
take
got-
you alone. It'd be 3 on
I've
one.
got a pet of my own now to deal with your dog.
That is true. What's your HP?
My HP? Well, considering that I have temporary hit points until they're gone, like 30 at this point.
All right, 2 turns.
Dang.
But you got to deal with my imp's poison.
That's true. We'll find out one day, maybe. Let's hope we don't. I
But
like
yeah.
this group actually. It's
But-
a lot of fun dynamics.
But getting back to the treasure, I only agreed to share it after you let me get first pick at the treasure.
Yes.
And so I basically took the 2 potions of healing that were in it and a ring, which I didn't even care if it had magical properties. I just saw ring with a ruby, and I'm like, that is mine.
Copper ring with ruby.
Some
Which,
blang.
after you actually asked me, is it magical or anything? Any particular reason you took it? I'm like, no, I just like nice things. Yeah, by the way, can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah.
And I did learn that there were some magical properties to it, which I'll figure out later.
Gotta
We
find
have
a
no
wizard
idea.
with identifier or something.
All of how you put on the magic ring. Know there's magical properties. Don't know what they are, but you're still wearing it.
Cursed, 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 cursed.
I like that chant. That's a good chant.
Oh no! This
Moving
is
on.
not good.
It's
Moving on.
gonna be cursed now.
Tywin's very good at ripping people off, but he does not have a lot of forethought.
But so we
He's
got a
just
lot of
greedy.
loot. We broke up a shamring. Got a giant, the last crocodilian killed.
Yep. Last gator dead.
Picked up a tabaxi who may just ditch us at the next dock, which is fine.
Can we have a session where we don't just destroy something? We made a species go extinct this time. Got
To
a
be
bunch
fair,
of people killed.
it was already going to go at some point.
I mean, that thing was. It had to have reptile diabetes, right?
if there's nothing else to procreate with, it was a dead species anyways.
Like
I don't
they
think
were
anything
coating
could reach its
longswords in
ability to
insulin
procreate.
and shoving it into its tongue.
Oh my
I genuinely
gosh.
don't think even if there was another female alligator, I don't think that particular alligator was capable of reproducing in its morbidly obese state.
Probably true. But
Well, maybe if you didn't insult it and start saying this is all false, and then the people are like, guys, if he goes out there and says that, that's our money just dried up. What are we gonna do?
You know what Kabuto's about.
calling things as he sees it.
He-
Shamelessly.
And just letting people die.
He did make his first joke today, and I was proud.
Oh yeah, Kabuto tried to make his first joke. I don't remember what it was.
I don't either. I just remember
Triple.
the facial expressions. You were like,
Yeah, because the joke itself it was intentionally unfunny, because Kabuto doesn't know how to make a joke. He's just heard mammals do it so many times, so he tried, and then he tries to laugh and smile for the first time, but he doesn't have lips and doesn't understand the concept of humor at its core, so he just kind of went and made this weird motion with his mouth. You guys can't see it, thank God.
The sides of your mouth was just twitching. Like,
Oh my god.
maybe that was the joke.
If this was a video podcast, we'd be in jail.
I'm not going back.
I have committed several war crimes.
My parole officer won't allow it.
Oh my
Lord.
god.
And with that, I have to escape before the police come and collect you for war crimes and probation violation.
I can't
Yeah,
wait for
actually,
the
I
next
forgot.
session.
Big Boy Chungus is on parole, and Tywin should be on parole. Actually, no, he shouldn't be. He should be in jail still.
He should be hung.
Yes.
All
Oh,
the
he is.
murder.
You killed
Oh,
a duchess.
Lord.
or
I knew
whatever.
that. I knew where we were going.
Okay, just a baroness and a baby. Where are we gonna go from here?
For-
Yeah, baby.
in my defense, he did let the
A
Baroness
royal
die.
baby is next step.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, like
a
that's
baby
the
princess.
next logical step.
If Tywin existed in the universe, then Tangled would have never happened.
Tywin's going to use his disguise skill
Well,
to
he
dress
wouldn't
up as a
exactly
midwife.
outright kill a royal baby because the ransom money would be too much of an incentive to kill it.
Well, we
Well,
even
they
got
didn't pay.
darker.
Oh, then I'd kill it. Then it's worth it.
Okay, thank you. And this was the 4th episode of Karen's campaign. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Are you just gonna let me take this?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I don't want to end it like, when people actually want to still say something.
Okay, well, anyone have anything else to say?
No? Alright, remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Look at the link description.
Check out all the cool links in the description below.
Get some merch. You could wear a shirt that says the one called Fate knocks at your door.
I need to make a shirt for chaotic does not equal good, because it's my favorite quote of all time.
Chaotic doesn't outweigh good.
That
or
should have
whatever.
Something.
Or doesn't rule.
I remember chaotic does not cancel good.
Yes.
I think is what it was.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that should
We
have
should
been my
make a
senior
Tywin
quote.
theme one that says Baroness's babies or bouillon, no one rides for free.
Oh
my gosh!
I have to escape.
This is what happens when we talk at the end after everything's done.
Yeah, but this has been Karen's Campaign Part 4, aka Exhibit A. So that is it, everyone. As Karen said, check out the links in the description. We got a Patreon where you can give us cash, dank cash.
Yes.
And yeah, we all have stuff. Oh, I don't have stuff to do, but other people have stuff to do. So we are gonna go as soon as Audacity starts responding, and I can actually hit that stop button.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no.
No. Oh,
Okay.
it recorded everything. Okay, we're fine. That's it. Thank y'all once again, and we'll see you next week, 6 a.m. on the dot.